voice for everyone. KSHB 41 News starts right now.
A Microsoft outage impacts computers around the world.
It basically locked down Windows computers globally,
Shutting down government offices, affecting businesses, and leaving passengers stranded.
The computers are not working. My question is, how long is this going to last?
Tonight, we're listening to your voices, answering questions, and breaking down exactly what happened.
That's kind of the world we live in when we're so heavily reliant on technologies.
Many of us woke up this morning to find out computers around the world weren't working. It started when the cybersecurity giant CrowdStrike launched an update for Windows computers.
The system was sent an update, and that update had a software bug in it and caused an issue with the Microsoft operating system. And we identified this very quickly and remediated the issue.
CrowdStrike is a cybersecurity vendor. It develops software to help companies detect and block hacks, and it's used by many Fortune 500 companies. This morning, the company's CEO issued an apology.
I want to start with saying we're deeply sorry for the impact that we've caused to customers, to travelers, to anyone affected by this.
And to listen to the voices of those that are impacted right here locally. We begin with my co-anchor, Caitlin Canoe, who is live at the Kansas City International Airport. Caitlin, some frustrations today because of delays and cancellations.
Well, you're absolutely right, Gian. In fact, I heard some of those frustrations firsthand from a young woman who was trying to get to Denver because of the disruptions. She missed her flight, so she had to cancel her ticket with another airlines, and instead she had to come here to Southwest to book a whole new flight. She's waiting to fly out later this evening. Over here to my side, we have some members of the Kansas State dance team. Their flight was delayed. They're trying to get to Vegas, so we have seen these impacts all day long. I do have to say it's a much different scene now from what it looked like earlier today. Looking at this board here in front of me, I can see there are some delays, very few cancellations, so it appears as though things are starting to get back on track. Now, we did have a crew out here bright and early this morning when everything seemed to happen all at once as those passengers were dealing with the beginnings of this computer system outage. We found Delta, American, United Airlines were the most impacted here. Some passengers told us they didn't experience any issues, while others said they were forced to make backup plans.
I just came here hoping, but I rented a car so I can drive home to Houston just in case, because I've been through a couple of these and just hope to get home. If you don't make an extra plan, then you're going to be stuck here at the airport or in Kansas City.
Since this morning, Delta has resumed some flights and said a travel waiver will be issued for those impacted passengers. As for American, it says issues to its operations have been resolved. And United said it resumed some flights and also issued waivers for travelers to change their plans. Of course, we know impacts go beyond just here in Kansas City. Scripps News correspondent James Packard shows us the effects being felt all across the country.
So number one, companies need to see if they can remove antivirus software or remove CrowdStrike from computers. Sometimes that can take minutes, other times it can take hours. And when you multiply that times thousands or millions of computers, you're looking at a long time period to get things back to normal.
I'm Megan Abundis in Johnson County. We're at Mission's driver's license office, and the signs are posted here on their door. Their systems are down and they are closed for the day. We've watched as they've had to send more than 100 people back to their cars. Johnson County saying they can't process any transactions today. But for some people we've talked to, these appointments have been on the books for weeks, and they've actually been looking forward to them too.
I passed my driver's ed and I was going to get my permanent, and it was closed.
As soon as I got out of the truck, the man yelled at me that they were closed, so I have to reschedule. You know, these things happen. You just have to let it fall off and go on, you know? So not the worst thing.
Frustrated, definitely, because it's hard to get anything done. I was going to get my permit, but apparently it's shut down, so...
And Haley, you worked hard for this moment.
Yes, I did.
What were you doing to prepare?
Studying online, for hours yesterday. And study for today too.
In Jackson County, it's no different. I've seen drivers see how empty this parking lot is, which is never, just to turn around, head on out. They told me that time and their money is now lost.
I took out work. I'm missing a whole day's work to try to get my car straight so I'll be driving properly. And then they closed, and it ain't no fault of mine, so I hope they don't charge me no late fees. And then I could have went to work if I knew they was gonna be down. You know, I'm missing a whole day's pay and it's not right.
For them to be closed is just setting me back a lot. This is crazy.
It's really hard for me because I was really excited when they said I could, when I took my test. And then when we were looking for a DMV to go to, they were all closed. And I was just so sad because I don't know when they're going to open back up again.
Megan Abundis, KSHB 41 News.
Megan, thank you so much. So we know even more government officers were impacted, including the Jackson County Assessment Office and the Social Security offices. That's where we met one woman who showed up to find that office was closed.
When I heard it, I didn't put two and two together. I didn't think it had anything to do with everyday business like government offices. You know, I'm just thinking computer. But even they use computers, so it didn't dawn on me till late that, hey, it's going to affect everything.
Well, we also checked in with the experts and we learned while this was indeed a global matter, it doesn't necessarily impact your personal technology.
Companies around the country and around the globe, in fact, woke up to massive computer issues caused by a software update from CrowdStrike. I'm KSHB 41 News reporter Todd Palmer, and we talked to a cybersecurity expert to find out whether your home computer is at risk too.
As far as I know, it's not something that you would need to be concerned about at home. Now, it could impact your banking, it could impact some emergency services depending on your location.
CrowdStrike doesn't offer cybersecurity services for personal computing.
CrowdStrike is a cybersecurity company that deploys cloud solutions to companies. They have about 1,000 user minimum licensing requirements. So your end user at home wouldn't be using it.
You can check your email, order a pizza, or let your kids log on to Minecraft without worrying about the botched CrowdStrike update.
This is not something that is associated with Microsoft specifically. It's something that a third-party service provider pushed out and broke Windows.
But not Windows on your home computer.
Anytime you use a computer, there's going to be some level of risk involved because when it's digital data to network connection is everywhere. So you're always connected.
It's a good practice to have a backup system in place and to use spam filters and antivirus software, among other protections, according to Burris. In Kansas City, Missouri, I'm Todd Palmer, KSHB 41 News.
Todd, thank you. Back here at the airport, I mentioned that young lady that I spoke to who missed her flight and is rebooked on another flight leaving this evening. She pointed out that some people were being a little testy with the ticket agents. Please remember, it's not their fault. This is a problem beyond their control. They're trying their best to get things back online just like anyone else. There is one note we should pass along going into this weekend, an effect that will be felt through Sunday. If you have an unaccompanied minor and you're planning on sending them to travel this weekend, Delta has actually paused that until Sunday. The airline says those already booked will not be able to travel. But again, that's just for unaccompanied minors. Reporting live from the airport, Caitlin Canute, KSHB 41 News.
Caitlin, thank you so much for that live report. Hoping all those affected today can get to where they need to go. Thanks again.